Face-to-face communication is just something more special than online communication. It has its realness, and that's why I prefer it. The authenticity of meeting someone in person is more real than anything you've probably ever done or experienced. You don't want to say something stupid or embarrassing, but that's just who you are. When all the walls are down and all the doors are open, it's really all or nothing. Sure, you may end up making a fool out of yourself, but in the moment you find yourself, and if you're lucky, well, you might find someone else along the way.
Social information processing by Walther. Um, that theory looks at historically we used to think that relationships couldn't be formed as strongly through the more lean media channels, and Walther argued that we could. So essentially he looked at how we form relationships through mediated communication. I started out looking at email, and now we have social media and a lot of these other forms of media. And he argued that we can form relationships just as strong and intimate relationships through mediated communication, but often it takes a little more time, and we substitute, our typical nonverbal cues for verbal cues, so we kind of imply things in our writing through mediated communication that we normally would say or express nonverbally in face-to-face communication. And so sometimes we call it the "you've got mail" theory, because it looks a lot like that movie where they kind of show the relationship forming through email.
You know, social media really does have its advantages. You get to meet people from all over the world. Meeting people online, I feel, is better because you really get to think about what you're going to say and not say it in a wrong way. And if you are able to word everything perfectly, then what can go wrong? Life is crazy and hectic, and whenever you have time to go online and talk to someone, whenever you have time, is really great.
A lot of our relationships are formed through face-to-face contact, and they have, physical affection, etc. But at the same time, I've seen this happen over and over again, people forming real, strong, true, committed relationships. It just depends on how honest we are in our presentation online, how open we are with others, because you've heard of examples of people forming relationships, strong relationships online, and finding out they've been deceived or duped the whole time. So while I think that absolutely this can happen, at the same time, I think intuitively we react to that idea and say, no, we don't typically form relationships that way. But they say, 1 in 8 couples who got married last year in the United States met online. So we know in some way, shape, or form, this does work.